Good afternoon, everybody. SevRoks back with some more World of Tanks today. We're rolling in the Churchill Mark I British Tier 5 heavy tank, which I recently unlocked last night. Done a slight amount of upgrading on it. Got a 6-pounder gun and upgraded the engine and the tracks as well. Also got the new turret to get that more classic Churchill look. And this is one of the 3 tanks I'm going to be using today. So far, I am very fond of this tank. I really do thoroughly enjoy it. One of my more favorite tanks to use because it's just kind of fun to use. You can take quite a few hits in this thing, and the gun capabilities you can upgrade on it do have enough to penetrate higher tier armor. So it's kind of like a very slow rolling armored cannon, which basically what the heavy tanks are. So we're going to be using this for the first match here. It looks like we have a Churchill Tier 6 Churchill as well, and another Russian Tier 3 Churchill up ahead. And keep in mind, this is in the update 8.3. Can I get a shot if I can? This is update 8.3, so the Chinese tier and tanks have been introduced into this match. Matilda, I can easily pen that. If I can actually hit him. Churchill is shooting at me again. Missed. Pen, no hits. No hit points, I should say. Looks like they're both going into cover, or Churchill Tier 6, Churchill 7's moving up. But anyway, so the Chinese tier has been introduced, and I might use the Chiha Tier 3 Chinese tank. I haven't really messed around with the Chinese tanks too much. Not something I'm incredibly interested in. I'm more sticking to ranking up my British tier here, because I don't know why, but I really do thoroughly enjoy the British tier of tanks. I, of course, will, for video's sake, mess around with some other tanks that I don't use quite as often. But for the last little bit here, after I got the KV-1, I've really just been rolling in the British tanks and having a really enjoyable time. But besides British tanks, I've also been ranking up my American tank destroyers and other things of that matter. So I've been working on, I think I'm messing with my German Panzer a little bit. Churchill Mark III, Russian variant. Bounced. I do need to upgrade from the 6-pounder gun. It's good enough for the tier 5 and 4, but for the heavies, it just can't pen the armor too good. I'm even aiming for the turret there. I'm going to move up a little bit here. He's not looking at us. Now he is. Tracked him. I don't know what kind of gun I think he might have the starter gun. Actually, no, it looks like he has the same gun I have. Let's see this Churchill 7 next to us. The gun he's using the 75mm, which packs a punch. Matilda, easy shots on him. While it does have a large amount of armor against tier 5 guns, you stand. Oh, missed. Dang it. Oh, ended up getting the kill there. Alright, very good. We're actually doing relatively decent in this match compared to what I normally do. We have 1 kill on Matilda there. Looks like our team is kind of suffering, though, in the mid-range of the map. Stug is getting hit. Let's see where he's getting hit from if we can't get a spot as we move into cover here. A lot of people play the heavies completely different from the mediums and lights. I still kind of play it the same. I utilize cover. I don't sit out in the open. While it is a heavy tank and it has better armor, it's not invincible. This thing can still take a lot of damage, and you can get dropped really quickly, especially when you're going up against tier 6 tanks, which they have that TOG 2 up. So that big gun on that TOG 2 can definitely do some damage to me. So you're not invincible. You gotta still be careful even when you're rolling in the heavy tanks. I learned that the hard way in the KV-1. I was expecting it to be so hard to kill because I had such a hard time in the tier 4s dealing with the KV-1s and other heavies of that such. So I had a hard time, but now that I've used 2 different heavies, I highly prefer the Churchill, even though I haven't really played the TOG 2. Maybe AFK. If it's AFK, it's going to be easy to take out, but it looks like it's moving. Okay, so it's aiming at the Stug, actually. It's going to be hard to take out, but the heavies, you still got to play them relatively careful. You're not invincible. You got to take your time, and because they're slow, you're kind of forced to take your time in some cases. Let's see if this TOG has a shot. I have a shot on that TOG. On the gun. Cromwell variant gun. Dinged. See if I can't get a shot on his, side of his gun there. Because you can pen that. Oh, that hit, but no hit points. There we go. What am I doing in rounds? Stu got a nice hit on him. I got another hit point hit on him. He's aiming at me. Backing up still. You still got to use the backing up tactics. Because you are not invincible, like I said, in these heavies. You pack a punch for sure. And you can withstand quite a few hits, but you are no way, shape, or form invincible. Seeing if I can hit his gun there. One more shot, one more pen shot. Got him. Ended up taking out that Tog too. Very nice. AMX 40, no problem. He's in trouble. Oh, got a critical hit on it. One more shot. He's toast. End up getting 3 kills. We're the last 2 left. Me and the Stug. The Churchill Mark 7 ended up getting taken out. I think the Tog got him. But they have more people, and they're on the base cap. I don't think we're going to be able to win it here. Both the Stug and I are hit. I'm too slow. I don't know if I can get up there quick enough before they can cap. I'm going to try, though, certainly. Looks like they have 2 guys in their cap. Actually, they might have only 1. We'll see if they come back to try to help their base. If I can get up there quick enough. Oh, they are. They are coming up. Wolverine, Churchill, and an SU-85, I believe. Crap. Okay. Stug better be putting a hit on that Churchill. I can't really pen to them that too much. I can definitely take out the Wolverine, hopefully. So that thing can put a beating on me. If I can just get up this hill. Going up hills, these things are not very fast, that's for sure. But luckily, this Tog is big enough I can hide behind it. Okay. Wolverine came up. Got a hit on me. Miss. But the 6-pounder reload time is really good. I'm stuck. Wolverine got a bounce shot on me. Aiming for that turret. Turret is not the strongest on that thing. Miss. He's having trouble penning my front armor. Oh, but they got the base cap on us. That's going to end up being a GG. Still getting 21,000 credits and 726 XP on a loss. But we ended up getting 3 kills. As you can see, we got the Matilda, the AMX 40, and the Tog too, which is kind of a heavy one to take down, aiming for that turret. But we got it. So that there is showing that it's a very, very efficient tank, even with not the most powerful gun. If you look in the research here, we can go all the way up to a tier 6, which is 145 pen, 135 damage. That gun is a beast. But I'm working on that. I'm still working on that. I'm definitely going to have to upgrade to the 6 PDR Mark 5, and then up to the 75mm 5 and the 75mm Vickers HV. So I'm working on all that still, and that is the Churchill Mark 1. I love it. It is a very enjoyable tank to use. I highly suggest, if you're going with the British, to at least try out the heavy tier and go with the Churchills. So very, very enjoyable to use. I really, really like it. Now, since 8.3, we of course have the Chinese tier, which we will look at up below the Russians. We got the Chinese tier is not actually that in depth as I was hoping it would be. We have a lot of kind of copies on tanks. We have the M5A1 Stuart, which is of course the Chinese variant of the American light tank. We got the Type T-34, which is of course the Chinese variant of the Russian T-34. Got the IS-2 and a couple ISs, I believe, and then T-34-2, T-34-1, and then Type 85. All of these are variants of T-34 tanks, I believe. And then they kind of get a little bit more unique in the top line, I think. But so far, I'm not too incredibly impressed with the Chinese. Well, then again, it's not something I really want to invest time in. It's not a nation that I want really to have their tanks too much of. I like more going with the British and the Russians and things like that. It's not really... The Chinese weren't too much of a predominant force in World War II. They were too busy getting their butts kicked by the Japanese. But we'll go ahead and roll in the Type 2597 Chiha, which is the tier 3, and you have to choose tier 3. As you saw, there's no other... You can't really branch off until you get to tier 6, which is kind of interesting. But then again, the Chinese didn't really have many tanks. I'm also kind of surprised they didn't include a Japanese tier first. I'm like, Chinese, why would you... This still hurt. I'm still confused about this. Why would you include Chinese before you include Japanese if it's World War II based tanks? The Chinese was a much more predominant nation as far as fighting goes in World War II. Looks like it's a decent matchup. You can see all the Chihas in here because everybody's trying to get their Chinese tanks ranked up. But the Japanese were a much more predominant force in World War II, so I'm not quite sure why they decided to add Chinese first. And also, the two nations I'm looking for really next are Canadians. I'm interested to see because they had quite a few different Sherman variants and all that kind of stuff, and they did have a few unique tanks as well. And also looking for the Japanese, of course, as well. And the Canadians, I could see ranking up a little bit, as well as the Japanese a little bit, because some of their Type 25s and stuff like that were relatively decent tanks. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the nations. The Chinese here, the Chiha's a decent Tier 3 tank. It's not amazing, but it's pretty decent. The gun's alright, the turret's alright, armor's alright. Nothing terrible about it. It's not something I hate. But I'm, again, working on the M5A1. Getting a little bit of frame rate here, but that should work itself out. There we go. We're going to go hill here, because I've gone hill a couple times, and one time it didn't really work out, but let's see if we can go hill here. A lot of the fighting takes place in this field right here, so I'm going to try to go up the top. As far as I know, Martyr 2 mid-map. Actually, let's see if I can get a pot shot on him. He's not aiming at me. Hit on him. Reload. Miss. He went behind the house. I'll keep moving. And he's toast. Martyr 2 rushed way too much, bro. You're a sniper. Why are you rushing mid-map? Didn't really get that too much, but he apparently didn't get the memo that he's a sniper, which is unfortunate. Let's turn the turret around here. Now, I don't really know all too much about the Chinese tanks in the higher tiers as far as heavy tanks go and stuff like that. I've heard that the 121, I believe it's called, is a little bit overpowered, as it needs to be nerfed a bit. And also, in my experiences, the M4, was it M5A1, whatever it is, the Tier 4 Stuart variant, the gun on it needs to be slightly nerfed. It is, it can pen Tier 5 armor, no problem. It doesn't do that much damage, but it can penetrate Tier 5 armor, and the reload on it is ridiculous. And those things are so annoying when you're a heavy going up against them. They are a pain in the rear. I cannot pen this M3 Stuart, this turret, for some reason. Got a Chiha. I can probably pen that as I can. But it does need to be slightly nerfed, in my opinion, just a little bit. But other than that, I think the balancing is pretty good with the Chinese. Oh, one other thing I did realize is the Type T-34 now, it's apparently the same with the T-34 standard, which is the Russian one. The gun, it does damage, it packs a punch, but the rate of fire needs to be slightly reduced, in my opinion. I've gone up against Type T-34s before, and they are just a nightmare to go up against, especially when you're in a slow tank. It is so hard to kill them. I missed that guy terribly. Where'd you go? Oh, he got destroyed. Okay, I was leading my shot already there. But I don't know if all too much about the rate of fire, but it was way too fast. When I was trying to get the Churchill, and I went the Valentine route rather than the Matilda. I still have the Matilda because I do like the tank, but it's a lot less research in the Valentine than it is for the Matilda. Now, the Valentine's not a bad tank either, but I was kind of raging at some cases when I would roll up and try to flank and then get two-shotted by a thing, and by the time it took me 1 round to load, he could get 3 rounds off, and I was like, seriously about that? So it is quite a powerful gun that has a really good rate of fire, but then that's the Russian tanks for you as well. So we're taking this hill now. This game, I'm clearly, or this episode, or video, whatever, I'm clearly talking about more about the update and stuff like that, rather than I am the gameplay, but we're doing decent here. We're definitely doing more decent than I have been doing the past couple of videos, as far as kills go. I'm 2 right now, got 2 kills, and not very much damage on me, and I did the Churchill as well, getting 3 kills, and not very much damage as well, so. Like I was saying, if you stay in the hold down position with the Chiha like I was doing there, I was in the defensive position. They had to move their hull up in order to get shots on me. I was in the I had the advantage there. They were definitely at the disadvantage, having to move their hull and wobble their shot a little bit. I was sitting down there in the hull down position, and they were really kind of easy to pick off. It doesn't have the best armor in the world. I took one shot to, I think, one of the little driver windows, and it really quite hurt me. But it's decent. It's not bad. It's not the most fun thing in the world to use, but I'm not really that interested in the Chinese tanks. I'm more sometimes interested about the history of the tank rather than I actually am about the stats and like how good of a tank it is. There could be an incredibly good tank, but I'm not going to use it because I don't either A, know too much about it in real life, don't really care for it, it looks weird, all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of picky as far as the kind of tanks I choose go to tanks that I use to play a lot. So another decent match there, getting a kill on the Chiha and the T-82, and getting multiple pen shots on another Chiha, Stewart, and the Martyr too. So another decent match there, using the Tier 3 Chinese tank, Chiha. So I might try to tier this up a little bit to maybe the Tier 5. I believe the Tier 5 is the type... Wait, is that the Tier 5? Is a Type T-34, which is actually really quite good. So I might try to tier it up to the Tier 5. And do another little video showing that as well. So, what one more tank should we take into battle here? What have I really been using? I haven't really used... I really want to get... Let's look on the tech tree here. I really want to get up to the Cromwell, the Comet, Centurion 7-1. I really want to do that. I've been watching videos about them. A lot of people hate on them because they're weakly armored, don't have the best guns. But when you get up to the Cromwell, the Comet, Centurion, etc., the guns get really better and they have a decent amount of speed. So I really wanted to see to get up to the Crusader. I've heard the Crusader's not the best, but I wanted to get up to the Crusader, then the Cromwell, etc., etc. So we're probably going to hop into the battle with the British Tier 4 medium Covenanter, which I think is decently fast. I don't have really anything to upgrade on it. I haven't spent too much time with this tank. I'm going to go ahead and buy the radio because I have the money for it. But I haven't really spent too much time with this tank, so let's go ahead and hop in battle here. Mines. It looks like we are going up against Tier 6s with this tank. How convenient. The matchmaking. Oh gosh, this would be terrible to address, but my singular huge complaint with the game is the low tier matchmaking. Tier 3 and 4. Specifically, the matchmaking borders on Call of Duty. It is pretty dang bad. You get in matches with when you're a Tier 3 RD piece, no, not RD piece, Tank Destroyer, Tier 3 Tank Destroyer against Tier 6s, and you get one-shotted. So it's not very fun. It really is not. Like, how are you supposed to tier up your tank if you keep getting one-shotted in these Tier 5 and 6 matches? It's really kind of annoying, and the Tier 3 matchmaking is my biggest complaint. Tier 4 matchmaking is okay. It's better than the Tier 3, but it's still kind of frustrating when you don't quite have the big enough power in the gun to take out the bigger tanks. So it is a bit annoying at times, but you fight through it, you work through it, and you get up to the Tier 5s, and then you're alright. Then you just gotta grind for the better guns, and that can be a pain as well, but it's everything. It's fine. I still love this game with all my heart. It's still a great game. And it's pretty much just based on the tanker rather than the tank. You could be using a Tier 4 and a Tier 6 match and win with 3 kills. There's a Stu just sitting there watching me. Stewart flanking us. I'm not going to worry about that. Got to worry about the Stu rushing me. I hate Stugs because they have the frontal armor to bounce a lot of shots, and they just rush you. And they're so freaking annoying. Like, look at this. I cannot pen his frontal armor, and he just obliterates me. That's the thing about the Covenanter. I've used it once or twice, and the gun is just so weak. And I've heard the same about the Crusader as well. The gun just cannot pen the higher tier armor that you're going to get into because you're Tier 4 5. And perfect example right there. I was hitting his lower glacis. I was hitting his track. None of my shots were causing him HP damage. And I am a scout tank. That's what the Covenanter and the Crusader are. They are scout tanks. They are not meant to take on these bigger tanks. But, oh well. I'm fine with that. We had one bad game. And that is all right to me due to the fact we had 2 other really quite good games, in my opinion. So, all in all, take a look at the Churchill Mark 1 Tier 5 British heavy tank. I love this tank. I highly suggest it. Get the upgraded gun for it. Upgrade everything on it. I'm probably keeping this. This is a really quite good tank. We also looked at my only Chinese tank, which is the Tier 3 Chiha. Not bad. Not amazing, but it's not a terrible road to get to the higher tier Chinese tanks. So far, I haven't really looked too much at the Chinese tier, but I've heard it's good and good things are to come, so we'll work on that. And we also took a look at the Covenanter, which was in battle there, and it didn't really display the capabilities of the Covenanter due to the fact that it was kind of in an outmatched match. But oh well. We may take a look at the Crusader when I get that. We'll probably take a look at the Crusader when I get that and see if we can redeem the Covenanter there. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always, and I will see you on the next one.